Hey, welcome back. Now we're at the last few tiers of the hypertrophy hierarchy. These are the ones that I like to call the trivial things. This is where all the trivial shit is, where all the clicks and all the views on videos come from, because of the fact that we can always change it. There's always something new about it. The last two videos, I believe, was all the basics that you need. If you stick to those things, these last three tiers will be easy for you, and you don't have to stress about the dumb shit that these guys are putting out each and every single week on YouTube. That's just fooling y'all. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. The first one up, I believe this is tier number 6. It's going to be exercise selection. Does anybody else struggle to spell exercise sometimes? There's times where I'll be like typing it in and I'm like, does the C come before the S or the S before the C? I don't know. Now, when we talk about exercise selection, we're really focused on effectiveness and efficiency. Those two things right there is what matters. Let me write that down for y'all. Efficiency. Effectiveness and efficiency. Why do these matter? Well, that's because we want you know what? I'm gonna hop into that after. I focus on these two things a lot because of the fact that I don't like to waste too much time in the gym. So say, for example, you want to build your chest. There's a lot of newbies that will go directly to flat bench press with a barbell. It's great and all, but it's a great exercise, don't get me wrong. But if you want to build your chest, you want to do something that's going to be very effective and very efficient. So instead of doing a flat bench press, it's better that you go get a barbell and do some incline bench press with a barbell with some dumbbells, because that's going to do a lot more for your chest than just trying to focus on numbers when you're doing a flat bench press, because that's what most people focus on when they do a flat bench press. They don't care about building their chest. They just want to lift as much as possible off their chest and look cool. Now, the reason why effectiveness and efficiency of your exercises are important is because of this ratio that is also really important to pay attention to. And it's the stimulus, that should be a U, to fatigue ratio. Man, I hope you guys can see what I'm writing down, bro, because the focus should be all right, but you never know these cameras sometimes. But you want to have high stimulus of a certain muscle group and low fatigue in general. And that's because of the fact that with hypertrophy, you do tend to train a bit more than most people do. So you want high stimulus and a low fatigue. And that's really important when it comes to your exercise selection. So you don't want to be choosing stuff that's going to get you tired as shit and that has both high stimulus as well, because that's basically training to failure. And then at that point, you're just fucked. So remember, high stimulus, low fatigue. So the next thing we're going to be talking about is training frequency, and that's how many times a week that you train a muscle group. This one is really important too, really fun when you actually understand how to use it. But this too is another thing that's trivial, because if you pay attention to these videos, man, all these top guys, they stress the fuck out of y'all when it comes to frequency and you know, how many times a week should I train my biceps, how many times a week should I train my calves, and they go into the smallest details that are so unnecessary to talk about. But yeah, I'm going to keep it simple for y'all. So let me just go ahead and explain how frequency works and how you should apply it to your training. So let's say that you want to train biceps. We'll go with biceps. And let's say this is all imaginary. Let's say you need 12 sets a week to train biceps. Now, training frequency, like I said, it is how many times a week you train a specific muscle group. So this can be split up into a few different ways. There's one circle. There's our next one. That's supposed to be a third each. Just stick with me here. 2 sets. 2 sets. Now this is all imaginary, just so this is said. So on this side, we have a person that, damn, my battery's gonna run out. Here we have a person that splits up his biceps training within 3 days. So he does 2 sets one day, 2 sets another, 2 sets on the last. Well, there's another person that does 6 sets on one day and 6 sets on the other. Now this all comes down to volume, load, and rep ranges. We have to work our way back down on the hierarchy to really understand it. But it comes down to this. Now, personally, me, if I'm training biceps, I'd rather do it I do it this way. And that's what I currently do right now. Like I have a chest and biceps day. And then I have like a shoulder, triceps, and biceps day where I get my 6 sets in. My camera died, but we're still here. Anyway, basically what I was saying is that all this is just volume distribution. How you distribute your volume throughout the week. And I will, like for biceps, for example, I would much rather be doing 2 days where I have 6 sets each instead of doing 3 days where I have 2 sets each. It's personally for me, that's not going to work. 1, because of recovery time. And 2, it's like, I feel like I'm being a bit half-assed if I do this. But, you know, to each their own when it comes to hypertrophy. I'd suggest that one be on this side because you get the most amount of work in. So that's it for frequency, man. Like I said, there's not much to it. It's a simple concept. Again, volume distribution. That's all it is. How do I distribute my volume throughout the week? That's all it is. It's nothing more than that. Don't let these guys that are at the top with fitness fool you guys into thinking that it's a lot more than that. Because it's really not. Building muscle is easy. It's an easy thing to do. But it's just that we've made it very complicated because we're so fucking smart these days that we're always trying to find some kind of new thing to advance ourselves, but we're really just making things a pain in our ass for ourselves. The last thing that I'm going to talk about on this tier, this hypertrophy hierarchy, is rest periods. Dog, and I'm going to tell y'all, this right here, I swear, when newbies that are trying to build muscle, when they ask me questions, this is the thing that they ask about the most. And I can't understand why. And this is what I mean. Like, we get so influenced by what we see online, on YouTube, or on social media, because stuff like this can be talked about all the time. 1 week, I can tell you that you need to rest 2 minutes between a set. The next week, I can tell you, no, you should rest 30 seconds. The next week, I can tell you you should rest 5 minutes, because it can always change. But the things at the bottom of the tier, they never change. And that's why nobody wants to talk about it. But rest periods, they're very simple as well. There is no time limit that you need to put on it. I remember when I first started, I used to put a timer on for 90 seconds, between 90 seconds to 2 minutes, rest up, and then start on my next set. And I just came to find out that is a fucking waste of time. Anyway, with rest periods, what you should be focused on is making the muscle that you're training a limiting factor. That's what we want to focus on. Making the muscle that you're training a limiting factor. What does that mean? What that means that, let me slow down here and explain to y'all properly. Let's say you're doing biceps curls. You get to your 1 to 3 IRR, you're close to failure, and you feel it. But your whole body doesn't feel it. We're not doing these reps as to where we're literally on our knees like, oh my God, I'm dying from this set. You want to make the muscle the limiting factor, not everything else. You don't want to, your heart rate's going to go up, but it's not like we're trying to do cardio out here. All we're doing is focusing on the bicep and making it tired during that set. That should be the limiting factor when it comes to rest periods, not a certain amount of time. And the other thing too that you want to focus on is having 100% quality on each and every single rep. And I think this is where this time debate comes in as well. Because let's say I rest for 2 minutes between every single set of bicep curls. Of course, every single set's going to have 100% quality because I've sat my ass down for 2 minutes. I've been resting. I've been chilling. I've gotten time, to just get myself together, get my head together. 100% quality should be your focus. That's the thing that I think about as well when I'm resting. I think, damn, all right, can I give everything this set? Can I give everything this set? If I can, I'll start. Because, there's a little bit of debating like, damn, all right, should I start? Should I wait a little bit more? But if I can wholeheartedly say yes to giving 100% and having 100% quality in that next set, then I'll start. But nah, man, this is rest periods. That's all it is. Building muscle is easy, man. I don't know why we all of a sudden have made building muscle such a fucking fad and so difficult. And y'all are falling for it. But this is all that's needed. I haven't even used much time on this. I used most of the time on the basics, So we've got to stop playing ourselves when it comes to building muscle. If y'all want to work with me one-on-one, when it comes to building your muscle, go ahead, go to my website. My email's there. You can talk to me one-on-one and we can set something up for you if you want to start training to build muscle. On my website, there's a free training program there for y'all to build muscle. Link is in the description. Go ahead and grab it. That was the whole hypertrophy hierarchy, tier list, whatever you want to call it. Hope y'all enjoyed this series and I'll catch y'all in the next video.